A few months ago, we brought you the detailed drive of the new facelifted and updated C-Class, including the coupe. And now the bread and butter sedan offering from Mercedes-Benz India has made it to our shores with updates on the interior, exterior and under the bonnet too. So let's have a quick look at what's new. For starters, the C-Class facelift, even in this entry-level C220d form, looks a lot sharper. Sportier bumpers up front, a new set of wheels, and of course around the rear, a new set of tail lamps. But that big update that everybody will be talking about, and the one that really differentiates the facelift from the previous generation, of course, are these really cool looking, alien looking LED headlamps. Now you get the premium version of these headlamps, adaptive in the C300. These are the standard LED headlamps, and in my opinion they look cooler than the other one. You get the daytime running light up top, which is very similar to the last gen, but then you get this really cool multi sort of clustered LED setup. And you have the low beam, the high beam and the fog lamp all in one big cluster, and trust me, the actual lighting performance on these in the night, absolutely phenomenal. When you come to think of it, these new headlamps almost reminds me of a dragonfly's head with those detailed eyes. Now the C-Class now gets a whole bunch of upgrades on the interior, and that really does improve the experience in the C-Class a lot more. So you get this bigger screen which is a little more horizontally set up. Of course, it's not touchscreen just yet because Mercedes is still sticking to the sort of control system right here. You also get this open pore wood, which is really nice in terms of quality, a whole bunch of little aluminium trim parts, new steering wheel, very similar to the one on the S-Class. But the big disappointment, of course, is the fact that you don't get the digital instrument cluster that we drove on the international versions, and that's strange because the A4 has that, as the new generation 3 series will definitely have it. So for Mercedes to skimp out on that is a little strange, but we do hope that comes in really soon. The infotainment system on the new screen too is all new, as the C-Class now comes standard with the next-gen MBUS user interface. It comes standard with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and is much smoother and more modern, but as I've said on several occasions, using Apple CarPlay without a touchscreen can only be described as a bit of a pain in the posterior. Other changes include new leather interiors with a slightly different stitch pattern and a new panoramic roof that does make the car even airier than before. All in all, it is still a great place to be as a driver or at the rear seat as a passenger. Now, Mercedes-Benz India does not offer a petrol engine option on the new updated C-Class just yet, but what you can get are two diesels. Now you can get the more powerful C300d and the little less powerful C220, and that's the one we're driving today. It's the more mass market variant. Now essentially both these cars have the same engine in different states of tune. It's called the OM654 and it is BS6 ready too. Now yes, we still get only BS for fuel, but this will meet BS6 regulations even on that fuel. Now it also gets a brand new transmission, which is the 9G-tronic, a 9-speed automatic, and as compared to the older 7G 7-speed automatic, this one is just light years ahead. It's a much better gearbox to drive, and the engine itself much quieter, much more responsive, and it has finally lost that sort of raw, typically diesel nature that the old 2.2 litre engine had. Not only is the new 2 litre engine quieter and more refined, but it is also much nicer to drive, with power delivery coming in really well. The 4-pot turbo diesel makes a respectable 192 bhp of peak power and 400 Nm of peak torque, perfect figures for this entry-level diesel variant. Suspension setup though has stayed the same, a perfect spot-on blend of handling finesse that this generation of C-Class has always had, and a nice supple comfy ride too. And with those nice thick sidewall tyres, the C-Class goes through most potholes and bumps without much of a fuss. The updates on the C-Class are most certainly compelling ones. Yes, the lack of that all-digital instrument cluster is a bit of a put-off, but the new engine, the small updates on the exterior, especially those alien-like headlamps, and the updates on the interior, in particular that new screen, really does push it to a whole new level as a complete package. And with prices for the C220d starting at 40 lakh rupees ex-showroom, dare we say it, it is quite a value for money proposition too.